Welcome to Marketing Part 1, Lead Generation. In this course, we're going to discuss increasing your center appeal, hosting a trimathlon, different community events, and partnering with local businesses and community groups. The first thing we're going to start with is increasing your center appeal by updating your location exterior. So the first thing you want to do is expand your exterior visibility. So in addition to the permanent setup of your center, including your storefront sign, your monument sign, A+ neon, and window graphics, take advantage of all opportunities to make your space noticed to potential customers. Different locations have different opportunities for signage, and sometimes they have restrictions. If you're unsure about the requirements and restrictions, check with your executive director. Hang some banners. Banners should be hung on your storefront as often as possible if it's allowed. When your banner changes, passerbys will be more likely to notice it. Important times to hang your banners include prior to opening, coming soon, at opening, grand openings, or now opens. In school years and summer changes, we do now enrolling for summer or now enrolling for fall. Other seasonal changes could be now enrolling for winter or now enrolling for spring. Any reason that you can come up with to hang a banner is a good one because it draws attention of potential customers walking by or driving by your center. Note that the banners do not need to be elaborate. Simple text is very effective. So hang your banner as high as possible above your door or between awning posts. If your center is on a street with high levels of traffic, a teardrop flag can be an effective way to draw attention to your center. Flags are assembled on their own stand, and you can add a water bag to keep them from falling in the wind. Place teardrop flags in high traffic pedestrian areas and on the street to highlight your center's front. If for any reason you can't apply window wraps to your center windows, a poster can be an acceptable alternative. So you want to display posters in your windows. You can use tape to adhere your posters to your windows. However, consider utilizing hanging poster displays with suction cups to avoid any extra residue. Setting up an A-frame sandwich board or restaurant-style sandwich board on the sidewalk is also a great way to catch attention of people walking by or driving by your center. Again, you just have to double check that that's written with our lease, so double check with your executive director. Brochure holders should be placed outside of every location for Mathnasium. If you don't have one, make sure you affix one on the outside of the center and keep it filled with trifold brochures. Even when your center is closed, walk-by traffic can obtain your material and call you. For centers subject to weather conditions that aren't so great, it's recommended that you purchase a brochure holder with a lid to protect your literature from the elements. Most of our centers also have a Mathnasium doormat, and that's a simple way to increase your center's welcome and appeal to potential customers, as well as a way to keep your center's floors cleaner from foot traffic entering and exiting your center. And ensure that you rotate all of your signage seasonally to coincide with what's going on. This applies primarily to your banners and A-frame signs. So check out your messaging to fit it in with corresponding times of the year and events. So if it's grand opening, that's what you're looking for. Summer, back to school, winter, etc. This means that you'll need to purchase multiple banners and inserts for your A-frame sign. Post and hang signage approximately 2 weeks before the start of each new season or campaign period. Our director of marketing, Dave, will periodically ask for the different things that you guys need for your space. So anytime an email comes through asking for that information, please make sure you answer it as soon as possible. Now, we also want to update the center interior. And the biggest thing you need to do is expand your parent area interest. So in addition to the setup of the interior decor, like furniture and wall art, we want to keep parent and conference areas informative and engaging for families. You want to leverage membership benefits by making new customers aware of the fun atmosphere and program results. A parent's view and initial impression of your center should communicate the strengths of Mathnasium and reinforce your explanation of the program. It's important to note that having a center pet is not allowed and often turns away potential customers. The first thing we like to do is update math articles in our math articles binder that should be in the front of your space. If you don't have one, make sure to contact me or Caitlin and we will assist you in creating one. The next thing is posting questions of the week. Determine an area in the view of a parent waiting area that's accessible to students to post questions of the week. This is a valuable addition because it creates opportunities for students to focus on problems center-wide, creating a spirit of camaraderie and friendly competition. Answers can be added below the question at the end of the week, along with the names of all the solvers. Follow the student incentive program to use the problems of the week as a part of the student session and to reward participation with punches to punch cards. We also want to maintain a brag board in each of our spaces. So determine an area near the parent waiting space suitable for a brag board. And most of you all will already have one in your center. Your parent waiting area will benefit from brag boards that celebrate student accomplishments in a friendly Mathnasium branded way. So they're typically in Mathnasium colors, including the magnets. A brag board can be as simple as putting up a board and writing down a student's name and a recent good grade they received. The way we typically do it in our center is we have students bring in tests and quizzes that they have received A's or B's on, and we go ahead and take a scan of them and make a copy, hand them the originals back, and then post the copy on our brag board for them doing so well. And most of our students who bring in those tests and quizzes are then entered into our good grade raffle that is drawn at the end of the month. The next thing we also like to do is have an area to post center news. So determine an area in view of the waiting space that's accessible to students to post center news. So this has potential to increase enrollment at your events and interest in your promotions. As you send announcements and update your microsites, keep your center postings updated. Since your walls will already have ample decoration, we recommend a 8.5 by 11 vertical stand-up sign holder intended for printouts. You also want to promote a referral program in your space. So determine a prominent parent waiting area space to put up a poster and place your flyers and cards if we have any. Having an established referral program will effectively drive new business. Satisfied customers may already refer new customers. However, a visible referral program will keep the idea top of mind and will have the materials available when you ask for the referral. Our referral program in our locations is any new student that enrolls that has been referred by a current customer. That student that referred the new student will then get 100 punch cards as a thank you. You also want to display posters on your wall space. So in addition to the wall art and stand-up curriculum fan posters, campaign posters can further enhance your image. We have a lot of those that come out during specific times of the year to increase our fun in our centers, like our summer raffle that we typically do with our students that you'll hear more about in our summer training. Displaying staff photos in your center can be a great reference for new families. It gives both students and their parents a sense of comfort when the instructor's photos are presented. So for this reason, you want to make sure you place your pictures where your consult with your parents are easily accessible. Parents want to know who are your tutors, and you should proudly show off their profiles. That's why it's so important to make sure that it's updated weekly. Provide reading materials in your parent waiting area, again, for more of a comfort and things to do while students are taking assessments or working with fellow instructors. And then promote swapped business brochures in that space as well. Cross-promotional campaigns with neighboring businesses that target similar demographics are a great way to market your center and gain more exposure with potential customers in the local area. Simply approach other local business managers and owners and ask them if they would be open to displaying your center's information in their establishment. In return, offer to do the same for them. A good place to start would be businesses such as dance studios, academies, martial arts, ice cream parlors, places where you normally see families. The next thing we're going to talk about is Trimathlon. So, Trimathlon is an event that is done yearly in our actual center locations, and we typically host them regionally in our space. So depending on the amount of enrollment, we could host them in one center or 3, and we let you guys know during the planning process. This is normally during a back to school period of the year, so it's been hosted in September, October, and November before. So why do we host the Trimathlon? It's a great marketing tool that can help with several of our other marketing initiatives, including school marketing. The students can raise money for local schools by participating in the event, and it's a fantastic way to get in front of the local public schools and get them to know and become involved with Mathnasium. Community involvement is what's going to turn your Trimathlon into an event and a party and make it successful. In addition to the marketing initiatives, the Trimathlon is designed to do the following. Establish the awareness that our learning centers are not just for kids who are falling behind in math, but also for kids who excel. Encouraging fall enrollment is also a great start to this Trimathlon. Build awareness among key audiences in your communities and establish yourself as the math expert and drive traffic and leads to your centers. The Trimathlon will take time to plan, market, and host, so it's imperative that we start planning early. So we always start a couple months in advance as soon as it has been announced. So the next step, once it's been announced, is for us to register our centers. Now, again, our Director of Marketing, Dave, does a lot of this stuff as well as his team, but we just want to make you aware of what goes on in Trimathlon and how it all works. Once you've registered, you then want to promote the competition. So all participating centers will be provided with a set number of printed marketing materials, as well as other marketing materials, including email templates, public relations templates, and social media suggestions. So for a full list, we do have a Trimathlon guide that we redistribute every year when we start talking Trimathlon. All of the marketing materials are mailed to your centers in August. And it's highly recommended that you start marketing your event early and often to help build participation numbers. It's also important that you market it on a local level, since each center will have its own day and start time that we plan out in August. We recommend you marketing your Trimathlon through a variety of vehicles, including emails, updating the microsites, your school PTO and PTAs, social media, community partnerships with flyers and posters. So what do you need to host a Trimathlon? The Trimathlon, again, does take time to plan, market, and host. So it's imperative that we start early. And the material and the manual, again, will be redistributed in August for you all. Once we've got everything ready to go and we've distributed the materials, the students will then start registering, and it's our job to remind the participants. So the registration typically opens after Labor Day and continues to the day of the event. However, early registration is strongly encouraged to help us better manage our numbers. If a participant registers in the month of September, typically they receive a free math game that Mathnasium will distribute to them. Most students will register online at mathnasiumtrimathlon.com, and once they register, the following will happen. They receive an automated email containing all of the confirmation with the event location and start time and center contact info. They'll also automatically be tracked within our Salesforce accounts under a Trimathlon tab. Registrants who state they're not Mathnasium students will be created as new leads in your system, and they can then be viewed again through the Trimathlon tab. Your center's email address will automatically also receive an email containing the participants' information as soon as they've registered. From there, we are reminding parents periodically, because often people get busy and events can slip off their schedules. So similar to the way a doctor's office will call to remind you of an upcoming appointment, we do have you all call or email your participants the week in advance in order to remind them of the event. At this time, you can clarify timing and answer any last-minute questions they might have. Once we've gotten all of the Trimathlon stuff started, we then have to prepare our centers. So we do order prizes and goodie bags, and as a convenience, most of them are mailed to the centers 2 weeks in advance to ensure that we have enough for the participants in the space. The number of goodie bags mailed will equal the number of early registrants plus 20% overage for all participating centers. So you will have an opportunity to adjust your number, and again, we'll assist you with that, and Dave and his team will. Then you want to schedule your staff and set up the center. So setting a festive environment goes a long way toward creating a fun and engaging Trimathlon. So keep this in mind when you're scheduling staff and when you're setting up your center. Schedule staff members who are good at handling large groups of children. To host a Trimathlon, typically most of our center directors will float around. So regionally, if we have more than one Trimathlon, we like to schedule them on opposite days so everyone can help. Volunteers are also a great way to decrease the staffing costs for the day and help to lead the kids in games and activities that make Trimathlon fun. So Please keep in mind that these people are volunteering their time, so you may want to schedule extra volunteers in case of no-shows. And you want to set the stage for a festive environment with streamers, balloons, and fun signs. And also have our parent packs and other brochures on hand to give parents additional information on Mathnasium's program offerings. Once you got everything prepared, then it's time to host. One of the benefits of hosting is getting your name out again in the community. So it's recommended that you host it as a standalone event and not conduct regular Mathnasium sessions during your trimathlon. It's designated to take a full day, and each grade level competition takes approximately 2.5 hours. So that'll include your registration, competition, scoring, and the award ceremony. So again, for all of these specifics, we will have a guide designated for you guys, and we'll re-release it in August. Now, the trimathlon tests are emailed to our center 24 hours before the first competition, and they are confidential and should not be shared with anyone outside of Mathnasium. Once the trimathlon has been completed, all scores must be entered into MTU within 24 hours after the test. All right. For those that have perfect scores, they typically go in for grand prize tiebreakers, and those are all notified once the information has come into Mathnasium and they've analyzed it, because they will have a tiebreaker contest within 2 business days after the trimathlon. Some different post-event actions that we do with our students after trimathlon is follow-up, of course, because you do have a lot of new leads, and you want to thank them for participation and let them know again about your center's program offerings. Follow-up templates will be uploaded into our Salesforce, and we'll be utilizing them once all of the trimathlon stuff has been completed. All trimathlon students do raise money for local schools just by participating in the event. So post-trimathlon, Mathnasium will notify our marketing team, and then we'll distribute all of the money accordingly to each of you to then bring to your schools. You also want to make sure you analyze event results to determine whether or not your trimathlon was a success. So it should bring your center value in the areas of brand awareness within the community, grant you more access to schools and school marketing opportunities, and give you access to more enrichment leads. Next up, we're going to talk about community events. Identifying local events that attract families with children up to 18 years of age is really important with marketing for your particular centers. 5K races, family festivals, tastes of, spring flings, fall festivals, art shows, 4th of July holiday parades, tree lighting, back-to-school events are all great things to participate in for marketing. An easy way to research and learn what is coming up in your area is to search the internet using your city and/or community name with words such as family event in or events for the space. Use the local marketing event prep and ROI form to plan and record the details and results. This form will help you organize your materials and be prepared for a great event. Key details to obtain from the event sponsor would be the number of people expected to attend. Has the event been held before? If yes, what was the turnout? How will the event be advertised and promoted? And what other businesses have committed to participate? And carefully consider the cost of each event, such as the cost to participate, the labor that's going to be needed, the marketing collateral, and the giveaways. During event registration, be sure to carefully select the table or booth location as to maximize our visibility and gain as much walk-by traffic as possible. It's also desirable to be located near other family-related vendors. Then ask about additional promotional opportunities that can take place before, during, and after the event. Will there be pre-event radio or local advertising? Can our logo be put on event materials? Will there be any announcements made during the event? You can ask to provide a promo spot. Can you co-sponsor someone else's activity or provide math tip booklets in their goodie bags for other contests or prizes? So how many events do we try to do within a month? Typically, we shoot for a minimum of 4. Some months you're going to have more, some months you will have less, but that's about an average. So who would run a table or a booth for those? We prefer it to be sales-trained associates, so center directors, assistant center directors, or a really great instructor who has a wonderful personality. And then how do we find those events? Again, most can be found by searching the internet. So to prep for your events, you do want to use our local marketing prep and ROI form. So during events, your primary goal is to increase awareness and promote Mathnasium, our brand, and our philosophy, and gather as many new leads as possible. So it's important that you prep to the T. So you want to make sure you use our local marketing prep ROI sheet to plan your event and track your success. That includes all of the stuff like setting up your tent table and using the logo tablecloth. You also want to make sure that you bring your mascot, along with having the mascot present at our table, that they walk the event to gain additional exposure. You always want to have an enter to win activity set to gain up as many new leads as possible. And you want to have something to interest the children while you're speaking with their parents. So every event is different, so you have to determine what ties into the event theme and what will be the best received. A popular activity is our prize wheel, which is quite loud and draws attention, and it awards logo items as prizes. You can include a short math quiz based on grade level as a prerequisite for spinning the wheel for a prize. So be sure to bring pencils and small clipboards to use when our table space is limited. Another thing that's great during an event is featuring a simple game or activity based on the child's age and ability. You also want to plan your staffing, who will engage with the children and who will speak with the parents. You should always be standing while speaking with parents since they will be standing. So you want to be on the same level. And come out from behind the table so you create a more friendly environment. Feel free to walk and talk with people passing by. You can catch their attention by saying hello, waving at their children, and showing yourself to be a very friendly and approachable person. Your main goal with a community event is to increase the awareness and promote Mathnasium. So you always want to make sure that you arrive early, 30 minutes before the event, to set up properly and get to know other vendors in your space. Again, make sure you are in a great space. Unload all of your materials. Bring the mascot. He's a crowd favorite and he always draws attention. Don't forget your enter to win box and plan your staffing accordingly. If people are not approaching your table, it's important that you go fishing. Make sure the mascot is walking or standing in the busiest areas or even in the way of traffic. If you don't have the mascot doing that, send out your instructor with brochures and lollipops and encourage everyone to spin the wheel or enter in the raffle. Most of all, you want to have fun. People are more likely to approach a happy, smiling face than one who looks bored and uninterested. You want to engage your parents and children in conversation about math and Mathnasium. So talk to parents in your area while standing in front of or next to your table and asking introductory questions. So good morning. Do you know about Mathnasium? Hi, come on over. You can enter to win 2 free sessions of math instruction. Hello, what grade is your son or daughter in this year? This works really well when the child is present. Once a parent is at your table, you want to engage in conversation with them, asking questions to learn more about their child. So tell me about your son or daughter. What are they learning in class? How are they doing with math this year? What do they need help with? How is homework time at your house? You want to be asking all of those questions that are present on our lead sheets. And use this information as a lead-in to talking about who we are and how we can help their child. Be sure to tie in the benefits of our program to the needs of what their students have. And then offer to schedule a tour of your center or a complimentary assessment. And use an assumptive question such as, I would love to give you a tour of our center so you can learn more about us and how we make math make sense. I'll be back at my center this afternoon around 4. Would you like to stop by then, or would Monday or Tuesday afternoon be better for you? Give them an invite to an upcoming event. You'll need to adjust your conversation according to the amount of time they seem interested in spending with you also. And then give them a brochure so they have important information to take home along with a coupon and your business card. Be sure they enter to win. This will increase their excitement about Mathnasium and ensure you have their contact information. Nothing is worse than talking with someone who seems interested and then you never hear from them again and you have no way of contacting them. If they did not schedule a tour, let them know you look forward to speaking with them again soon and you'll contact them at the beginning of next week. And then thank them for stopping by. You've made a new friend. After an event, it's critical to plug in all of your lead information into Salesforce. You want to follow up promptly to select prize winners and reach out to congratulate them. Everyone who enters to win should win something. This gives you a terrific reason to call and engage them in conversation again about Mathnasium, their children, and invite them in for a tour. Once all the follow-up has been completed, you need to update information on your local marketing event prep and ROI form and capture the details. Recap all of the necessary information you'll want to remember for future events of the same or similar nature. Recording your results will also give you the ability to analyze the effectiveness of the event and help determine if the event should be repeated in the future. Compare the overall cost of the event to the enrollments gained when calculating this. Even one new enrollment can offset the cost, making your event a wise investment for your center. Also consider neighborhood goodwill and reputation. Just for a note, local marketing return can take longer to measure than other forms of marketing, such as direct mailer. Partnering with local businesses is a huge way to bring in new clientele. The first step in that is identifying businesses that cater to families. So some examples would be doctors, dentists, hair salons, dance gymnastics, skating and karate studios, fitness centers, religious centers, nail salons, and after-hour daycares. You want to establish a relationship with the owner, the manager, the receptionist, and find ways to cross-promote. Give them our homework help coupons to distribute, and you can send their coupons home with our students. Ask the local pizzeria to put our coupons on their pizza boxes for the weekend. Many businesses will let you put up a display with our trifold brochures or business cards, and you can swap. And we will put theirs up as well. A place that hosts birthday parties may be willing to put our logo materials in their goodie bags, and restaurants might have kids' nights and invite you to be there and meet and greet. You could set up a table with an activity for kids and hand out marketing materials. Movie theaters always host children's movies, so be there when they're doing that. And grocery stores often let businesses set up tables outside on busy days. Look for community bulletin boards where you can post a flyer or your business cards. Urgent care centers typically have a table to display flyers and business cards. Pediatricians and dentists may have an event day where they invite complimentary businesses to participate, so ask. And plan a family information and support night and invite all of these people to participate. One month it could be dental health, the next it could be healthy eating. There are lots of ways to join efforts. You never know what they may have in mind, so don't be afraid to ask how you can support them as well. Ask for a business card from every person you speak with at every business. Even if there's not an immediate activity initiated, you never know when you will have a compelling reason to reach out to them in the future and build your network. Even community groups have ways to benefit. Most will be related to a specific cause or occupation, subject, or purpose, and many will include people who will be interested in our services or know someone who will be as well. So all should be considered as a wise investment of your time. Attending group meetings will give you the opportunity to speak about Mathnasium and your center and to create new network opportunities. The Chamber of Commerce. Most chapters hold frequent meetings and social gatherings where non-members are invited. Research groups with memberships for people dedicated to children are also a great way to get in with families. Education, teachers, parents, and children support groups, special interest groups like the YMCA, sports teams, football, basketball, soccer, baseball, flag football. These are all great ways to get involved. And customize the marketing and partnerships options for them. We get the best results when we attend games during the day from 9 till 4 or 5. We want to be present to meet hundreds of families and have the opportunity to engage in conversations with them. Banners and logos are added to their marketing materials are helpful. However, they should not be our only objective. We need to be attending these events. And ask how many children are enrolled in the leagues or groups, what are their ages, and find out what geographical area they cater to before committing to a sponsorship.